Hello. People have asked me to talk about what happens in the psychotherapy session, especially in the first session. Well, normally I'll speak to you by phone first, and we'll have a short conversation, 10 or 15 minutes, to find out how my skills and expertise can help you. I'll be asking you the kinds of things you want to talk about in the therapy, and maybe some of the things you want to achieve. Some people call me up, and they know exactly what they want. It's about depression, or it's about anger, it's about their relationships, it's about their children, it's about their work, it's about their future. For some people, it's about trauma. In that conversation, we'll talk about how I work, and I'll ask you to take a piece of paper or open a file and write at the top what I want, drop a whole load of words or pictures into that, and bring it with you when we first meet. And that's the only preparation that there is. In the first session, there's a bit of administration to do. There's a short questionnaire. I'll ask you about my note-taking and note-taking in general, and let you know that everything we talk about is confidential, unless you and I decide that somebody else needs to know. I'll ask you about medications. Are you on any medications? Have you been on any for any length of time? I'll ask you how much alcohol you drink or have drunk in the past. I'll ask you about recreational drugs, experimentation or actual use. And I'll ask you about your experience in psychotherapy, counselling or coaching. And that's quite useful because if you've been to a number of therapists or coaches or counsellors, then it's very useful to understand what works for you and what doesn't. After that, I'll ask you what is it that you want, and we'll refer back, hopefully, to the list that you would have written. Some people write pages and pages of very detailed notes. Some people write just a few words. Some people don't write anything. But from there, we can go in all sorts of directions. We can go with your physiology and how you respond in the world and how we might change that for the better. We'll go with the words that you use to describe yourself in the world, and we'll look at the behaviours that you exhibit, the things that you do, and perhaps the things that you need to do. The first session is normally 2 hours, and that's to work out, can you and I work together? If my style doesn't suit you, we'll normally find that out in the first half an hour or so. Then there's no fee, and I'll refer you on to somebody who I think you can work with. Assuming that we can work together, then we'll look at what it is you want to achieve, and we'll start to develop some evidence base, some knowledge, some understanding of knowing when you get there. How many sessions it will take is difficult to say because I won't know that until we actually meet. At the end of that first session, I'll ask you, how was it? I'll ask you, did you enjoy it? Was it what you expected? Do you feel you're able to work with me? I'll ask you, is there anything we missed? Sometimes, even though we cover a wide range of areas, some subject areas get missed out, and we need to make a note of those, perhaps for future discussion, which leads me on to the next question, which is I'll be asking you, where do you want to go next? Sessions are normally 1 hour, once a week. That's so we can experiment during the week, we can review and see how you're developing. It's a conversation, and the focus of that conversation is actually dictated by you. Many people tell me that they come along and to have an hour or so dedicated to themselves is a rarity, and to have that hour where they can talk about themselves, not in a selfish way, but a self-focused way, a way for self-development. So that I hope will give you some indication of what happens. Give me a call, and I'll be happy to talk through more with you. Take care.